3ds Max has just dropped the latest iteration of Max, 3ds Max 2022. And today on the channel, I wanted to check it out and kind of show you guys the new features, what I think is cool about the program, what I think they fell short on, and I'm definitely going to give kudos where it applies, and then talk about what I hope for in the future. So let's dive in. All right. So the best kind of breakdown I found of the features so far is this YouTuber Eloy Andulaz Fula. Hopefully I didn't butcher this guy's name, but yeah, he's got all the new features, and if you guys want to check it out, I'll put a link somewhere in the description. But some of the coolest stuff are just some of the new modeling features that have existed, and they've really upgraded what they did with the interface as well. So let's just check this out, and I'll try to kind of talk through it. So they've got a new Smart Extrude feature that is pretty cool, and I think this really starts to take Max to the level of a lot of these new modeling software that it does good work with booleans, does really good work, so you're not having to go into outside programs to really remesh things and little things like that. And I think that's where Max is trying to go with it now, to where we're just like, hey, we're gonna update it and upgrade it to have a lot more of these modeling features. And they've upgraded the symmetry tools as well. So now you've got all the axes that you can flip simultaneously. And they've been upgrading it, and they've upgraded the cap system in there as well. So the capping feature is quite a bit better than previous versions of 3ds Max. But yeah, all in all, the from what I've seen, performance wise, it's pretty good. I had to download that first hotfix. You know how Max is. The first iteration that they put out is never the one. You got to wait for their hotfix, and that hotfix did help. And this is a really cool feature. I like that cap. And they did a lot of stuff with how it helps performance and things like that, and even the relax function. Now you have it to where you can just relax the inside of the mesh and not have it affect the edges, which is pretty cool as well. So a lot of performance stuff, a lot of stuff that optimizes a lot of the features that they had in there. And I feel like I don't know if this guy's paid by Autodesk. I'm certainly not, but he did a bunch of really good performance tests that are really, really cool. And the retopology features, I mean, that alone changes the game for 3ds Max, right? That alone. And they've got this new really cool mesh cleaner as well. This mesh cleaner is pretty cool. Yeah, it's good if you're doing like architectural stuff. You've got a lot of CAD files, and that's what I've been working with a lot lately. This stuff is cool too. That's like the new path deform stuff. The path deform stuff is really, really interesting as well. And they've got the new spline features. I think they brought that into Maya as well. So a lot of these features have existed in other programs, and I think that's what people are gonna, that's what a lot of 3D artists come to the table and go, well, Modo's been doing this, or Blender's been doing, and a lot of these other programs do a lot of those little things well, right? They do, each of them have their own things that they do well. And like the Modo feature, that was something like the Modo, how they retopologize and things like that. That was a feature that I wanted in Max for a long time, and they brought it in. So they've done some nominal improvements to the software, and I feel like they brought it to where the standard of what a lot of today's tools are. And this is probably this is a really big step up for the Max viewport, right? So a lot of my students who y'all don't know how to render nothing, right? They've changed the game for y'all, right? They made it really easy. And there's like this new presentation mode that exists that I'm gonna have to test out here in a second. I brought my own thing in there to see what it looks like, and man, it's really cool how this new presentation mode works. I thought it was really cool, you know, and it's starting to give you more heads-up displays and stuff. So, and apparently it only supported 9 GPUs, now it supports 10. So, you know, a lot of these things are performance updates, performance upgrades to the software. You know, the big game changers were the retopology. I mean, I guess this is a game changer. I mean, I should have been allowed, you know, you should have been able to do this a long time, where you can kind of stretch the render viewport. I mean, that's old. I don't know how you get credit for that. You know, that's not credit worthy to me. But I'm not a software developer. It might have taken them months to do that little thing, but you know, so I don't judge on that. You know, and this is kind of what I'm talking about, where they're improving their shaders, right? They're improving the software, right? Our quality of life is getting better, right? And that's the point I wanted to make about this, is our quality of life in Max is getting better, right? Overall. So they're seeing things that people are talking about. They're seeing what everybody's saying. They're improving those tools, right? And you know, a lot of times you feel like your critiques and your criticisms do fall on deaf ears, right? And you know, I will give them kudos when they address issues that we ask them for, right? You can't, you know, it's a carrot and a stick approach with me, you know. When you do good, you get the treat, but when you're bad, I'm gonna scold you. I'm gonna be like, no, that's wrong. You know, don't do that. You know. So these are really, you know, these are nominal upgrades to the software, but yeah, this is a really good one. This helps you see if you have any malicious software. Right at the bottom here, it'll check to see if you have any malicious scripts or anything that's gonna mess up your stuff, and the Max script listener will pull up you know, detailed info of what could go wrong. So you know, things like that are cool. Things like that help 3ds Max. It brings us up to date, and it keeps us competitive, right, with those other guys, right? So they can justify charging you, you know, however much it is they charge it on, which is, I don't want to say because I just paid it, but they're charging a grip now, right? So, and you know, they've tried to lower the prices, and I think a lot of the argument that people, you know, that will have is, hey, there's Blender, it's free, there's this, that, you know, but I honestly believe it's whatever you know. I honestly believe it's whatever software you're used to, whatever, you know, you learned, right? Whatever you felt most comfortable with, and that's pretty much the game, right? Like there's no crazy, you know, 3ds Max is good, Blender's good, Moto's, you know, I like 3ds Max because that's what I learned on, and you know, I feel comfortable here. It's my comfort zone. If I had to use Moto, I could probably use Moto, but that's not the issue, right? The issue is how are we in 3ds Max surviving compared to those other guys, right? What's easy for them and what's not as easy for us. So okay, so here's a cool feature that they added to 3ds Max, which is this new presentation mode. Right now, you're looking at the enhancements that have been made to the interface, which is allowing you to view things like really high quality PBR that would kind of start rivaling the marmosets. You know, this is a little blasphemous to say, but it's going to start rivaling the marmosets, the substance painters, and their presentation quality. It's been a long time coming since 3ds Max has been able to upgrade you know, their viewport kind of system. And this next step right here is how you would go about doing that. For my students, this is for you right here. This tutorial is just for you. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to undock a panel. So you're going to want to make a you know, maybe make a viewport 1 a floating panel, right? So now that you've got your floating panel, you're going to want to do all the same thing. You're going to make this high quality, right? You're gonna want to make it. I'm gonna hit G to remove the grid. If I hit, let's go P again. If I hit Control and L, I can get rid of the lights, right? If I hit Control and C, I can get rid of the camera showing in there, all right? All right, so let's go to camera 1. So now let's add a, so if I hit this plus sign, if I hit Control and space, it takes us into presentation mode. So I can Control space here. Now turn this like that. Shift C to get rid of the camera gizmos themselves. So now I've got this new floating border. So if I hit presentation mode, right, I've got no borders, nothing, right? Now I can take a screen grab from here and have something that is really presentation worthy, and I don't have to render anything, right? This is a really cool feature, especially for people who don't want to have to spend time waiting to render your stuff. You can just set up some basic lights in your viewport now and you're good to go. So yeah, that's one of the really, really cool aspects of this. All right. And for anybody that wants to see how this just basic setup looks, I'm gonna save out a file of this and I'm gonna post a zip of it in the description as well.